Jaxson Dart, and do you want him to play all preseason games?
It's yet to be determined, man, in terms of my confidence in Jaxson Dart. Like, I got to see him play in a real NFL regular season game. More than one. We're already over the moon and the stars for Daniel Jones after his first start, too. So more than one. I can, see him for a year or two before I really formulate an opinion. Do I think he's got good tools? Sure. I think he's got mobility. He's tough as hell when you watch him run. I think he's got enough arm strength. But for me, the most optimistic thing for me with Jaxson Dart, I respect Brian Dable's opinion at the quarterback position. And if Brian Dable loves him with the hands-on experience he was able to get during the pre-draft process, well, that gives me more confidence in Jaxson Dart. So I think that's the thing that I'm most optimistic about going forward for Jaxson Dart. A guy that's supposed to be really smart in terms of evaluating quarterbacks loves him. So I think that's at least the thing that, as of now, I'm most optimistic about with Jaxson Dart.
Yeah, I think the confidence in the front office in Dart makes me feel like, especially seeing it from Dable, like we really never saw Dable to this excitement level or like really pushing for the guy. And I know they didn't draft Daniel Jones, but they ultimately decided to keep him. So I just feel like we see a really different side of Dable with Dart. And that gives me some confidence that him and Joe believe in him enough to say this can be our guy of the future. And, from some of the things that I saw in college, obviously he's better than Daniel Jones coming out of college. And, I want to have confidence in him because I feel like they really went all in and they decided that this was their guy. So I want to, believe in them too. And I really want this team to start winning football games. And if that means that Jaxson Dart is the quarterback, then I hope he does it. So I would say where I am right now on draft night, I was at like a 3 or 4. I would say I'm up to like a 6 now, just from everything that I've seen and heard from him and seen from the front office and how they really believe in him and are going to, focus on making it work, and how they also have tried to really build up this team, not just for the quarterback, but as a whole. So I don't want to see him play all the preseason games because I do think that we need to see Russ and Jameis play a little bit. I don't really know how much, but I would like to see it be at least more than a drive. Like let's see them get some plays under their belt, especially in game 1. Let's just see it a little bit. And then Dart can play the rest of the preseason games. But I really want to see them play, the starters play a little bit, because I just feel like they need it. They need the reps, especially this Giants team. Year after year, they start off so slow. And it's not until week 3 or 4 where it feels like all of a sudden they all know what they're doing out there. And they just can't afford to do that. So let them get in at preseason, play some things, feel like they can maybe iron out some kinks like penalties and things like that, before the season actually starts. And, maybe we won't get blown out 40-0 at home week 1. I don't know. Maybe that'll help.
Or 28-6. Like I said, yeah. I think it was Joe Judge that said the first 2 games were an extension of the preseason. I never understood that philosophy at all. And yeah, I mean, people.
And it's not for other teams. Like, why do other teams come out? Why does Dallas come out week 1 guns blazing and beat us 40-0? Like, we're the only team who seems like they can't get their shit together until week 4.
Yeah, and then even then, I don't think we ever get together. It doesn't matter. I think by week 4, we're like, okay, this season's over. As far as my confidence level on Jaxson Dart, it's hard to say. I do like his personality. The more we've heard him talk, seeing the behind the scenes and how smart he is, and knowing what to do in certain situations, I think that goes a long way. For my confidence level, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't matter what my confidence level is in Jaxson Dart. The fact that Brian Dable has the utmost confidence in him is the most important. And if you look at what happened right after he was drafted and watch the Rams drop from 26 to 46, I'm pretty sure we all know that they were very interested in Jaxson Dart. And if Sean McVay is interested in him, obviously he must have some very good qualities that they see, that they feel, whatever his weaknesses are, they can coach up. And that's what you want. So Brian Dable being confident in him, I think that is really a testament. And I think that means a lot, that they feel like
that's what I'm most optimistic about.
Yeah.
They know more than we do. They have firsthand experience. So yeah, that's I think the most. And the preseason, I'd like him to get. Play in all of them, not necessarily start in all of them, but let him play, get his feet wet. But I think it's important for us, like Adriana was saying, to get some preseason exposure. We know he's an NFL veteran. He's been in the league forever, but he's never played with a Brian Daboll offense. He's never played with Malik Neighbors. I think it's important for him.
These guys, right?
Yeah, I think it's important for him to get on the same footing as these guys. So I'm not saying play him a full game, but give him a full game's worth of quarters throughout the preseason.
Right.
I think the Giants in recent history really have only played Daniel Jones about a quarter worth
of reps. A drive, whatever.
Yeah, throughout the entirety of the preseason. So I would like to see a little bit more of that for Russell Wilson, because it's important for the Giants to get off to a decent start this year, because you don't want to have to rush Jaxson Dart in there before you are completely confident that he's ready. So I agree. I think Russell Wilson should get decent reps in the preseason.
Yeah, listen, man, I think that's what the preseason's for, especially with new quarterbacks coming in and rookies coming in to learn the offense, to learn the defense, to build chemistry with your teammates, to learn their habits, to learn their strengths and weaknesses, and to work on things that you can't, you don't want to work on in the you don't want to be working on this shit in week 3. Like, you want to have it down pat. You don't want to be making mistakes because you don't have a good chemistry with these guys. I feel like it's important to get that in the preseason perfect order. Yeah, the playbook's vanilla. You're not going to see a lot of razzle dazzle. It's going to be your basic stuff. Same thing at defense is going to be your base defense in preseason. Not going to do anything extravagant, but you do build chemistry. You do learn your teammates, ins and outs or whatever. And that chemistry goes a long way, especially with the quarterback and his wide receivers. And if he's talking about untapped potential with Jalen Hyatt, that's a perfect place to see and build something with him, or build something with Slayton, or, get on the same page with Malik Neighbors, because you're going to want that going into week 1 so you can hit the ground running. You don't want to be adjusting and trying to figure stuff out when the games count. So I'm with you, Chris. I think a full game worth of quarters over 3 games is not terrible. Now, they're not going to play game 3. They never do. That's a dress rehearsal. Or not, sorry, that's for the guys to get the.
I forgot it's 3 games. I forgot
it's
maybe 2.5 quarters worth of reps throughout the first 2 preseason games. But I want him to get decent exposure with these receivers. I think that was a good point. And what I would like to see the Giants do in training camp, you don't want to do it too much because you want Wilson to get acclimated to the new weapons. But I would like to see Jaxson Dart get some first team reps in training camp to get used to playing with Malik Neighbors a bit. That I would like to see. But in the preseason, I think it's more important this year specifically for Wilson to get those reps with the first team.
Yeah, because as much of a veteran as he is, like you said, he hasn't played here. He hasn't played in this offense. He hasn't played with these players. He's got to learn, and they got to learn Russ. Yeah. So that's what preseason's for. Yeah, training camp is one thing, but it's training camp. You want to play against opposition. Even like I said, if they are going against base defense, there's nothing extravagant. They're not going to show you all their extravagant blitzes and everything. You're not going to see all that stuff. Not so much because the Giants play these guys in the regular season, but other teams obviously check out film, and you don't want to expose too much on tape in the preseason. But you are still going against guys that are trying to make the team, so they're trying to do everything they can to stop you. That's what the preseason's always been for. I don't know why they don't. I mean, you don't need to take it seriously, but they should take it more seriously than they do. We'll finish it off with this one. We'll finish on a high note, and then we'll let you guys get to your weekend. Chris and Bear Dog's intern says Super Bowl stream will be so legendary.
Oh, dude, we were 2 wins away from doing a Super Bowl stream a couple of years ago, so that would be incredible. One day. I wanted to give Ray a shout out. I saw him say in the chat that this is the time in the offseason where Chris and I catch up on our Tom Cruise movies. Ray, I can't wait to see the new Mission Impossible. It comes out in 2 weeks. So that's going to be awesome. I saw Sinners. That was awesome. But Super Bowl stream Bad Dog would be absolutely legendary.
Yeah, it's got to happen. It's got to happen. So even if Super Bowl stream was legendary, but like you said, the playoff stream was legendary. Just the run that they had, just being above 500, because you and I have been doing this for just 7 years now. I think this is our 7th year working together, and they've had one good season.
It wasn't even a great season. It was a good. No, it was a borderline great season.
It was a great season.
Would you say that I've been watching the Giants since like 95, 96 pretty religiously? I think that's in my top 5 or 6 favorite seasons of ever since I've been a Giants fan. That might be sad to say, but it was so unexpected. obviously it doesn't compete with the 07 and the 11 and the 08, and maybe not, maybe top 5 strong. But I think it's close to my top. It was a really fun season that year, 2022. Really,
I saw all 4 Super Bowls. So
well, I don't go back
to 5 Super Bowls. Right? So those have to be my top. Not Super Bowl 35. I didn't like that game, but that run when Jim Foster came out and said, "Listen, we're going to. I'm putting on my car, push everything in the middle. I'm going all in." Whatever the hell he said, we're going to the playoffs, and that's
incredible season 2000. Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, but 2022 was very unexpected, and it was a refreshing change of pace. The way they won, they didn't dominate anybody. They came from behind to beat the Packers. They came from behind to beat the Titans, going for 2 to start the year. The Ravens, right? That was fun. The 2 Commanders games were really tight.
Game was incredible in that game.
So there was a lot of really fun games in that season. Then obviously Minnesota, we won a playoff game, and for all Daniel Jones's fault, so you got to remind Cowboys fans that Dak Prescott has exactly 1 more playoff win than Daniel Jones.
That's an insane stat.
Yeah,
that's an insane stat. He goes there every year, basically. So that's an insane stat.
Yeah, he's Dak, so that is what it is. Right? I don't know what to say. With that said, we're going to wrap up another edition of Giants Collective. We appreciate all your support. It really does mean a lot to us. So thank you so much. Next week, like I said, the schedule comes out. Does it comes out like right after we're live? Does it come out at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, but they are announcing. Early. Yeah, and I think they said they're announcing like a couple games on Monday, Tuesday. Like there's certain games that are going to come out before the official thing Wednesday. So we might have a couple games to talk about then.
Gotcha. All right. So
and David says this is my favorite Giants podcast. By the way, I don't remember who it was. I meant to say it, but we were mid conversation. Whoever that jerk was saying mean things about Adriana, don't come back. But David said
I think Borna or whoever banned him. So
okay, good, because that was he was just trolling. I know he was trying to get a reaction at it, but stupid. But David says this is my favorite
about Bad Dog too. So I was like, "You're done here, sir."
Yeah. David says this is my favorite Giants podcast. You'll have great ideas and knowledge. Thanks for the entertainment. Well, David, we thank you for watching. There's so many Giants podcasts you could say that about. So for you to say that, and I don't think any of us claim to be the smartest Giant fan in the world, but we love our team. We love talking about our team, and we just try to have a good conversation and talk with the chat. So we appreciate you for being here.
Absolutely. So with that said, we'll end it on a positive note, and haters going to hate. That's what it is. Keep drinking that haterade, baby, because we're here for it. For Adriana, she just drank some haterade. For Adriana, it's Bad Dog. Enjoy your weekend, everybody, and we out.